I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. We continue with Alma. We have begun the rebellions of Amalikiah, one of the greatest villains of the Book of Mormon. He started a coup among the Nephites trying to take over and make himself king. It fails because Moroni rallies the people against it. He and his close inner circle of followers have fled down among the Lamanites, while the rest of his army has made a covenant of peace and a covenant to protect and defend the cause of liberty. That is where we left things. We have peace in the church for a number of years, and that was at the beginning of the 19th year of the reign of the judges. We're still in the 19th year as we pick this up in chapter 47. Again, a little long, so we read today. In this video, we will read the first 19 verses. Amalickiah uses treachery, murder, and intrigue to become king of the Lamanites. The Nephite dissenters are more wicked and ferocious than the Lamanites. Now we will return in our record to Amalickiah and those who had fled with him into the wilderness. For behold, he had taken those who went with him and went up in the land of Nephi among the Lamanites, and did stir up the Lamanites to anger against the people of Nephi, insomuch that the king of the Lamanites sent a proclamation throughout all his land among all his people, that they should gather themselves together again to go to battle against the Nephites. And it came to pass that when the proclamation had gone forth among them, they were exceedingly afraid. Yea, they feared to displease the king. And they also feared to go to battle against the Nephites, lest they should lose their lives. And it came to pass that they would not, or the more part of them would not, obey the commandments of the king. And now it came to pass that the king was wroth because of their disobedience. Therefore he gave Amalickiah the command of that a part of his army which was obedient unto his command, and commanded him that he should go forth and compel them to arms. Now behold, this was the desire of Amalickiah, for he being a very subtle man to do evil, therefore he laid the plan in his heart to dethrone the king of the Lamanites. And now he had got the command of those parts of the Lamanites who were in favor of the king, and he sought to gain favor of those who were not obedient. Therefore he went forward to the place which was called Onidah, for thither had all the Lamanites fled, for they discovered the army coming, and supposing that they were coming to destroy them, therefore they fled to Onidah, to the place of arms. And they had appointed a man to be a king and a leader over them, being fixed in their minds with a determined resolution that they would not be subjected to go amongst the Nephites. And it came to pass that they had gathered themselves together upon the top of the mount which was called Antipas, in preparation to battle. Now it was not Amalickiah's intention to give them battle according to the commandments of the king, but behold, it was his intention to gain favor with the armies of the Lamanites, that he might place himself at their head, and dethrone the king, and take possession of the kingdom. And it came to pass that he caused his army to pitch their tents in the valley which was near the Mount Antipas. And it came to pass that when it was night, he sent a secret embassy into the Mount Antipas, desiring that the leader of those who were upon the mount, whose name was Lamanite, that he should come down to the foot of the mount, for he desired to speak with him. And it came to pass that when Lamanite received the message, he durst not go down to the foot of the mount. And it came to pass that Amalickiah sent again the second time, desiring him to come down. And it came to pass that Lamanite would not. And he sent again the third time. And it came to pass that when Amalickiah found that he could not get Lamanite to come down off from the mount, he went up into the mount, nearly to Lamanite's camp. And he sent again the fourth time his message unto Lamanite, desiring that he would come down, and that he would bring his guards with him. And it came to pass that when Lamanite had come down with his guards to Amalickiah, that Amalickiah desired him to come down with his army in the night time, and surround those men in the camps, over whom the king had given him command, and that he would deliver them up into Lamanite's hands, if he would make him, Amalickiah, a second leader over the whole army. And it came to pass that Lamanite came down with his men, and surrounded the men of Amalickiah, so that before they awoke at the dawn of day, they were surrounded by the armies of Lamanite. And it came to pass that when they saw that they were surrounded, they pleaded with Amalickiah that he would suffer them to fall in with their brethren, that they might not be destroyed. Now this was the very thing which Amalickiah desired. And it came to pass that he delivered his men, contrary to the commands of the king. Now this was the thing that Amalickiah desired, that he might accomplish his designs in dethroning the king. Now it was the custom among the Lamanites, if their chief leader was killed, to appoint the second leader to be their chief leader. And it came to pass that Amalickiah caused that one of his servants should administer poison by degrees to Lamanites, that he died. Now when Lamanites was dead, the Lamanites appointed Amalickiah to be their leader and their chief commander. Amalickiah is a clever, subtle, and evil man. He failed in his coup to take over the Nephites, and so now he said, well, if I can't get the Nephites, I'm going to go get the Lamanites. And the first thing he does is he starts stirring the Lamanites up. He is probably welcomed into the court of the Lamanite king, and he starts telling stories, getting them riled up. But mostly, I remember, this is only the 19th year, which means it was only a year ago, in the 18th year, that a lot of these men fought with the Zoramites, and they all took a covenant of peace with Moroni. They don't want to go back and fight. They remember that last battle, and it was terrifying to them. So most of them run away. When the king calls them all together, most of them, they leave. Notice where they go to. They go first to the land of Oneida. Now, I don't know if there's two different places called Oneida, but remember that Alma taught the Zoramites on the hill Oneida. And I think this is the same place. The Lamanites, the Zoramites have been fairly well defeated, and they've mixed with the Lamanites. Now, the Lamanite armies that are opposing the king's order, they're gathering up in the land of Antionum on the hill Oneida. When they see the rest of the army of the Lamanites led by Amalickiah, they flee into the mountain of Antipas. And then we see Amalickiah's subtlety here. At first, he doesn't trust him. He won't go down. But when Amalickiah comes close to the camp, he'll go out and talk to him. They make the deal. Everything goes good. And then Amalickiah has him killed. And in this way, Amalickiah is able to take over. Notice how he has him killed, though. He says he has him poisoned by degrees. So it wasn't a poison that acted instantly. He didn't poison him and he died one night. It was a slow acting and building over time. If I remember correctly, it's like like arsenic. Arsenic is a poison that a little bit doesn't hurt, but it stays in the body. And if you give it a little bit each time, each day, or each week, then over a period of time, it will build up enough to kill a person. And so it's something like that. So he has this, just makes him a little sick, so that people don't suspect. And now he's in command of the army. We will finish this chapter, read a little bit more about the evils of Amalickiah next, in the next video. So we will see you there.